欢迎回来，这又是 QT 为您直播的英雄联盟德玛西亚杯超级联赛。
All right, once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Demacia Cup. English coverage brought to you by Games in Asia. I am Pyrotechnics, joined by Froskarin for the third game of our first set today.
I'm actually really excited that we're going all the way to Game 3 between these two teams. Oh, wow, we're already into Champ Select, so
These
right
guys
away...
don't give us a chance.
I know, right? It's almost fantastic, though, because I love how it's just like boom, 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 we want to get in, get punching. Eve Riven, been consistently banned all through the series. Braum did get through once. He is going to be banned for the second time this series, so taking that right off the table, as well as Jax.
Yeah, they don't want to Amazing J rock that one. And Braum, I think they wanted to let it get through once just to see how it went, but it was just too much for VG to handle. So now that they've kind of got a lid on Energy Pacemaker, as you know, we saw that last game, complete turnaround from the one before it. They definitely have been able to adapt quite well on the fly, and I do give a lot of credit to Coach Tabe on that one. But these players are also pretty fantastic as well, and Bobo playing as a sub. I mean, really, bravo with how well they've been able to pick it up.
And again, Bobo is subbing for Sin today as the AD carry originally, and he was the previous LMQ AD carry? I think is the way to phrase that.
Yeah, Sin, absolutely, and of course he has gone by many names actually, and people might be wondering who the mid laner is on that team as well. Believe that Zune is also who's also known as Cherish. Yeah, I was trying to find a name. Cherish 522, so that's also the normal player, and then Xing on the mid lane for Energy Pacemaker. For those of you not able to read the characters as well, Amazing J gonna lock in first pick Thresh as he's made it through the bans for Domoho this time. That's the first time he's been able to make it through, actually.
Yeah, and I actually wanted to kind of touch base with the fact that Twitch and Lee Sin finally get banned. So we've seen fantastic Lee Sin performances both games in a row. Obviously, Twitch a big contender here. So with Lucian being picked up right now for Bobo on that side, I'm really curious what the response AD carry is going to be without Twitch in the game. We don't normally see Twitch banned.
Now, this is the first time we've actually had to see the ADC champion pool get reached down a little bit. Kane has been pretty adept at a lot of things. We'll see what he does come up with. Something to deal with Lucian. I don't know. Has China really picked up on the whole Graves counterplay thing?
They've played Graves occasionally. OMG, when they were testing out the patch, they brought out the Twisted Fate Graves because they had been playing on the Korean servers. Really hasn't seen a lot of play. I've actually seen Corky's more than Graves, really, but it is going to be that Elise Lulu lock-in. So Elise, every single game this time going to be playing on the side of Energy Pacemaker, and so far, blue side in this this best of 3 has a 100% win rate. Just saying.
Yeah, it seems to be the lucky color this time, absolutely. Whoa, and Kale actually looking at being locked up right now. Amazing J's gotten that twice, although very effective one game, not so much the other. They're looking to give this one either to Zune or to Carry this time, as they also lock in. Once again, the Leona pick for 300 definitely seemed like more of his style of champion.
He looked very confident on that champion. The roam from 300 was pretty instrumental in making sure that VG Gaming got on their feet for that second game. And in response, they hover over Sona, but yep, they're going to switch up quickly to Corky. This is kind of what I expected. As far as Corky into the Lucian matchup, if they decide to go 2v2, Corky gets a good power spike level 6, obviously with his rockets, does a bit of mixed damage, more again kind of that caster burst style. I feel like he brings a little bit more to a team fight as far as late game than Lucian does, but Lucian definitely has the snowball potential from him. And will it be Kassadin?
Yeah, they're looking for it. And remember, Kassadin was left on the table and just completely neglected this entire time. I think Kale was a higher priority for VG Gaming, but they do give it over to Energy Pacemaker. So this is likely going to be, of course, the Kassadin mid lane Lulu top that we've been seeing. Amazing J. Haven't seen anything yet but Kale today, so this will be a little bit interesting as well. I like the Corky pick. You definitely called it. And they're going to, at the end of this, are they going to pick a Twisted Fate into Kassadin? This would be a really nice pickup for VG Gaming.
I would rather see an Orianna just because of the submarine comp between Kha'Zix and Ori here.
They're debating it.
I like the fact that with 300, we know that he's super aggressive. He likes to roam support. We've seen roaming supports both these two games, and obviously Twisted Fate will go with that. It is going to be that Twisted Fate for Zune there, which means that it's going to be Carry in the top lane with Kale.
And I think this shouldn't be too hard for him to deal with the Lulu on Amazing J as well. With Elise versus Kha'Zix in the jungle here too, this definitely presents a lot of pick opportunities. It almost seems like Energy Pacemaker is running the same kind of comp that Vici was running in the first game, where they tried to set up a lot of early game picks. They have a lot of potential to catch champions. They have a lot of high mobility. They're going to have to focus kills on the Kassadin, though, And this is something that VG did not do when they had Kasten in that first game.
Which, I think part of the thing that really goes for them is the fact that they're bringing a Lee jungle as opposed to a Lee Sin jungle. Not saying that Lee Sin doesn't have fantastic early game pressure, because obviously he does, but when Lee Sin is ganking for your lane, because of his execute and how his kit works, 9 times out of 10 he's going to be getting those kills, whereas Elise is able to juggle tower aggro, she's able to lock someone up, non-committal CC. I feel like Elise has a little bit more of a track record of at least spoon-feeding her lane, so we'll see if they're able to hook up with Kasten in here and maybe get the ball rolling.
I just got a really weird image in my head of like Elise like feeding ice cream to her little baby spiders. I'm sorry, that was just a complete ADD moment while you were doing it. Yeah, Lee Sin was banned out, and I like the answer with Elise as well, because it's sort of a more of an insurance policy against the late game. They have Lee Sin would have been a really fantastic early game pick had they managed to get him. However, you know, the notorious fall off in the later game, Elise definitely is a little more hedge against that, and I think Energy Pacemaker wanted something that'll function at all stages of the game.
Even if we get to that that notorious late game, because so far both these games back to back have been relatively quick. 2 surrenders. Like 20. Well, it was like
25 and 20 minutes on the dot. I mean, you know, the save morale thing I understand, but this is a just very lightning kind of League of Legends play that these teams are engaging in. And, you know, this is definitely something notorious in the Chinese scene, in the LSBL in particular, where, you know, we have much hyped teams that are also very highly mechanically adept. They have a lot of players that have experience in the LPL. They have a lot of players with international experience. And look at this. This is the first time we've seen a deep invade coming out of anyone. And Energy Pacemaker is going to send a 5-man up to deal with Carry right now, who has to zoom away. They're not going to be able to catch him on that one, but they will force it back, and this gives them a chance to put down some deep wards on the red buff.
We've seen early team fights, but typically they happen around levels 1 and 2. Not really too many invades. It's mostly been a line of scrimmage, but you are correct, these deep wards going down, which very curious because their mid laner is a caster, not really known for his early game presence here. So this tells me that they're going to be doing a lane swap if they're going to be having such aggressive deep wards. Actually, oh, nope, they're warding for the lane swap, so they're looking for it.
Well, and it's weird because they saw Carry already going there, so that they have to assume, okay, that was the initial intent, is that they're going to send normal lanes out, but now they don't know if there's going to be like a switch up or not. So both teams trying to keep together and not really get caught out in any weird situations. Again, very safe, like 2 minutes of the game, and then all hell breaks loose. Seems to be the formula.
A point about Captain right now, Elise. 90% of the time, Elise players actually pick up Sweeper instead of going Warding Trinket on her, just because of how early Elise can gank and how effective she is at checking brushes with her Spiderling. She doesn't really need the Trinket Ward, so a bit of a curious pickup there. I'm not quite sure how confident and comfortable Captain is on an Elise pick.
Looks like they are going to go for the normal lanes, and they're going to let Amazing J deal with that lane swap in the top lane that's being instigated, but they are going to get a bit of a jump on the lanes with the Corki and Thresh, and pretty good pushing power for them too, although Lucien as well. Going back to Elise, yeah, I think they want to try and clear this jungle out as quick as possible. Amazing J not really in any rush to get to that top lane, so they're going to instigate this buddy system, and so is their opponent, so are their opponents. VG Gaming doing this roam with Carry and Imi as well, and they're looking to collapse onto Jing right now. Is he going to be able to do it? Oh, he's going to get the gold card out soon. Nice stun up. Going to force the flash out, and Doma was there as well, but unnecessarily, as the flash escape was burned. And I think VG will be happy with that one.
Definitely. No flash casted in pre-level 6 is pretty much free food, so expect to see the second attempt pretty soon there, or at least within the next 5 minutes. Again, we talked about how the double jungle favor really doesn't work for Lulu. She can do it just fine, but it's definitely going to work out a lot better for Kayle. Lulu likes to have that lane where she gets to flex her bowling potential. Doesn't jungle quite as effectively or nearly as quickly as Kayle is going to help out with those clearing camps, but either way, Amazing J not in too rough of a spot. The top laners are actually even on CS, 0-0 across the board, obviously just in that jungle looking for the experience so they can get back into their lane. Typically they want to be level 2, preferably level 3 before they go down there, but Amazing J actually making a rotation, looking for the 4v1 or the 4v0.
Yeah, I think they're going to be able to catch this off guard too, because you have Imi and Carry still pushing around in their own jungle now on near that side. This is going to give an advantage over an NG Pacemaker, as they're going to have superior numbers to be able to push this tower down and then be able to just roam out. They definitely want to take early fights, because they have a comp that is able to catch people at lower levels and just single target lockup. So realizing this now, VG.S is just going to try and push on that top lane, but they're going to look for a pick in the mid onto Cassidy. Definitely focusing on him. He's getting collapsed hard. Got no flash, but he's nearly within tower range. Can the gold card land out? He's not going to get it. Going to get the wild cards, though. There's the jump in, and Imi's going to take first blood 4 minutes into the game. Nice roam, but they're going to give a tower up for it.
He got hit from every angle, and VG Gaming 300 is looking for the back. They have vision, though, so they are going to go ahead and try to answer with that tower going down with the mid-tier tower. And I have to say, if they get this, which going down relatively so probably not going to, soon going to try his luck at a blue card there. Definitely the more important objective, and unfortunately, Cassidy in the mid lane not having a good time. Literally, they came out of the woodwork for him.
Yeah, and 300 is a magnet for turret shots these games. He just does not care. He'll dive in, absorb everything, and you saw Imi just jumping in there. He only took one shot as he re-aggroed the turret when he got the kill in the reset. Just fantastically done to answer that. But again, giving up an early game tower, the gold is it's still relatively even. The kill might have given it over in favor of VG.S, but it's such a little thing. And now they're going to look for Dragon. Oh no, Captain! You can't face check a bush like that. He's going to repel up and away, but he's got nowhere to go. Has to flash into the pit. He still might go down. Imi's going to jump over and lock him up. They're looking for him. The flash forward from Zune gets the gold card out. Zune's going to take his first kill of the game, and you're not safe in your own jungle, Captain.
Again, we talked about the fact that most elites actually start Sweeper because they can check brushes relatively easy with their Spiderling. Walking around in Spider form obviously helps you get around jungle a little bit faster, but definitely not what he wanted to have happen there. Burns his flash and his repel.
Clearly didn't expect that one.
I know, right? Really lucky that VG Gaming didn't just take the front door dragon and also pick that up with the kill. Obviously, the smite was down. I think the threat of who was looming around was a little too much, but I'm actually really curious if they didn't punish that harder.
Yeah, now, EP is doing pretty good at pushing objectives and controlling those a little bit better, but despite the kills, VG is just, I don't think they feel confident in trying to take an early dragon like that. They seem like they're questioning themselves a little bit, even though they had such a fantastic game last time. They're playing extremely carefully, and this is why they instigated that 4-0 push instead of like trying to be hyper aggressive on the attack. I think they're really worried about this like diving roam composition that's like headed up by 300. They just know they're going to lose somebody every time. And, well, here's Domo. They're targeting him down, so the support being focused on this one, leaving Kane completely alone as 300 going to get his armor shredded up, and he should be able to get away from this one, but whoa! Domo nearly lands a hook, and here comes Imi to the rescue. They're getting a teleport from help as well, and Amazing J makes this a 3v3, but it's all of a sudden a 4v3, so carry in the mix now. 300 going to get ignited down, but they trade kills, trade supports, still going forward for it. Kane and Amazing J looking to put some damage back onto Bobo, but he's still pushing the damage out as well with the double taps. I think they'll be able to push this one forward.
So obviously a better trade for Energy Pacemaker right there. They have to be careful, though, because it is now 3 members. Ooh, soon to be 4.
Uh-oh, here comes the Twisted Fate teleport. He just hit 6, gets the gold card on Amazing J, perfectly executed. Down he goes, and Kane can provide absolutely no cover fire to this. They can't take the tower just yet. Well, maybe they can. Oh, my goodness. They're going to burst this one down real quick, but they're taking tower shots, so they're going to have to back away from it. Imi nearly goes down to it as well, but they'll be able to free push for just a moment. The turnaround from this one, though, is that Jing has had a little bit of help in the mid lane, thanks to Captain, but able to push onto that because 300 is the only one they're defending with the teleport in from Zune. But they are really just getting out-rotated on these, and they're giving up a lot of kills to VG right now.
Which really kind of speaks to the confidence and the strength in picking up that Twist Fate. I didn't necessarily like it for the composition, but it is working out for them. Again, VG Gaming had the fantastic turnaround in their last game where they decided, you know, we're going to focus objectives, we're going to out-rotate Energy Pacemaker, and we're going to make it happen. And right there, the experience bonus, obviously getting level 6 before Zune did, due to the fact that Zune got ganked by 20 people in that mid lane, allowed him to get that Destiny up and allowed him to make things happen for his team. Tower didn't go down, but very, very close here. Second rotation of the buffs coming in at 753. Zune going to go ahead and pick up his blue buff. Should see Cassidy and Mosey over to release.
That tower is so low, it almost creates a sense of false confidence, and you got to be really careful right now if you're Kane and Domo, because if they get dove 3v2 again, they can easily give up a tower and 2 kills.
You're absolutely right. Destiny won't be up for a little bit, though, so they don't have to worry about TF for the time being.
Yeah, teleport not up on carry as well. They really did blow a lot to get that, but they really executed it fantastically. At this point in the game, Bobo is really vastly out farming his opponent in lane, Kane, as well. So, like, oh, he's actually going very low right now, so they might answer for this one. Captain's in the mix as well. 300 is going to nearly sacrifice for this one. He's going to get flayed back, and he should go down easily, almost Turns around on Kane, though. He gets the Ignite off, but it's going to be burned for naught. Does save Bobo's life, though, so hashtag worth, support bros.
Good distance there from Domo to really make that happen, unfortunately. 300 hadn't really bought a lot of items. Is going to come out with those Moby boots, so definitely saying that he wants to bring back the roam meta. Captain does walk through a ward, so Bobo is aware that he's in this lane right now. We do see Emi making his way up into the top, waiting for the dive. Have to be very careful.
They're baiting this so hard right now because Bobo, at half of his health, they know they can dive, and they have to know something's up, though. It's almost like a big, giant telegraph to your opponent saying, hey, my jungler's in the area because I'm still playing confident. Whoa, he nearly gets hooked up, though. That would have been the cue to go in. Here is the roam out, and they're going to try and back away. TF's going to be able to come in. He just got his ult off a cooldown, and they gets the gold card out again. This is why they picked TF. They want these gold cards to come out like left and right, and he's hitting every single one of them. They're going to lock up Domo, but unfortunately 300 goes down. Once again, taking the tower shots like a champion. They get 3 for 1 and a tower. VG Gaming looking so strong. They're up 3,500 gold, and, well, Jing was late to the party. He says, hey, guys, I brought the punch, but all his teammates are dead.
And you're exactly right. It's so unfortunate. I mean, the mobility boots, the gate that allowed them to get that off quickly enough. I feel like Lucian really telegraphed what was happening, the fact that VG Gaming was making their way up there, but Energy Pacemaker just could not make the reads, did not have the wards deep enough to see that coming. And against a Twisted Fate, you have to have much deeper wards.
And again, I think this is why they prioritized it over Orianna. The fact that at low levels, he was just able to get the half-second stuns off on the gold cards was just so much more valuable than what Orianna could provide, because her only real form of CC is in that ultimate. So it definitely helped a lot in the early game, and the fact that they were able to shut down Jing so hard with that crazy 4-man you're dead collapse.
That was one of the best ganks I've ever seen, literally out of every single area.
That was just like, that was no escape whatsoever. I mean, I was just like, you got to know what's going on in Zing's head. It's like, okay, I might as well just sit here now. To his credit, he nearly got 300 out of it.
But that's 2 Destinies, 2 kills, and a tower, so perfect Destinies coming out of Zune so far. They are going to aggro this dragon. Ward goes down from Energy Pacemaker, so they do see what's happening. No one really moving. In fact, Amazing J is actually going to back, and with that numbers disadvantage, this should be a free pickup from VG.
Yep, Domo was going to try and go for the unlikely steal with the hook. Doesn't quite time it right, but it's a really difficult thing to pull off. At this point, 11 minutes, like, it's an easy dragon for how far ahead they are and how out of position everybody on Energy Pacemaker was to try and handle it. So Bobo and 300 are going to take their places in the bot lane and try to make this tower push. They have a tiny little time window to try and do it, but they're not going to shove for it, instead opting to freeze out the lane just a little bit, deny some more creep. And Domo is actually going to join Amazing J in this bot lane. So this is going to be kind of an interesting setup. We've been seeing this weird, like, supports pairing with top laner things lately, too. This is something that they did in LSPL in their last matchup.
Definitely the Moby supports being very strong right now. The roaming support meta definitely coming back. And I feel like there's a lot of really strong supports in China. So it makes for really nice ganks. In fact, 300 about to find Captain here in his own jungle. Amy's there as the distraction on that pink ward.
Oh, they're all going to fight over what isn't actually a red buff since it's gone. Yeah, they'll back away from that one. Yeah, there are a lot of really, really high-quality supports in China. I think it goes back to the fact that they've put so much emphasis on the AD carry role that the support role naturally is going to be very popular. I mean, we know a lot of iconic players, such as Tabe, who, of course, now coaching 300. So this is definitely a role that is going to be very, very refined, even relative to some of the others. And it's been showing how well they've been able to instigate these fights. Both of them, of course, on huge playmaking supports. Leona and Thresh, probably the 2 most popular supports of the entirety of Season 4.
Uh-oh. Castling.
Here we go.
Okay, they are going to pull back from that.
Okay.
That looked really sketchy for a second for him.
Not a part 2. There we go. So they will take a red buff steal, though. Emmy's going to be more than happy to have it. And here's the Invade of the Jungle kind of coming on through. So they're going to be waiting in the bush, but they don't know they're sitting on top of a ward. So Caston just going to go about his void business as usual, gliding around and trying to clear things up. But there's a gold card out for Zune. Says, hey, you better back off this tower right now. So he calls for some help, gets Amazing J in response for it. They're going to turn Trite around to a Captain is coming in to defend this tower too. But it just seems like they're getting here too late. Vici is again, I know it's an overused phrase, but they simply are out-rotating every single time, and they're putting this 4-1 pressure really to the test, as they've sent now Carry to deal on this top lane.
Look at the response time right now. So you have VG Gaming pushing up the mid tower. They're going to sacrifice first-tier mid tower for the blue buff.
I'm really kind of questioning that too. Yes, Caston needs it,
with the Destiny.
but oh my goodness, they're going to catch Captain out in the jungle. Imi's going to get the kill and the reset. Now Caston is going to not take the Lantern, he's going to take his own Void Path, thank you very much, out of the dangerous zone that was just created there, but they still have free pick onto Captain, and Captain is, on this Elise, he really has not been very effective at all this game.
VG Gaming is completely outclassing Energy Pacemaker. I cannot believe that they decided that the blue buff, which then just died with Captain right there, is worth into a tower, and now giving another free tower.
Yeah, well, Amazing J is going to try and make this cost a little bit at least, but he's not going to be able to stop the bleeding, and down it'll go once again. Towers up 4-1, and Vici is just running the jungle at this point. They are going to be able to do whatever they want on this side of the map. Oh, wow. Nearly stops the back, but they can't contest this either. And they can't even take a fight at this point. Look at the gold difference. It is 6,000 at 15 or 14.5. Once they spend this, it's going to get huge.
The one thing that I will say is that most of the gold is right now on Emi on that Kha'Zix 5-0-3. And not that Kha'Zix can't be a threat late game, but typically he's built as a bruiser tank. So we do see the Hex Drinker coming out from him, has the Brutalize available. So it's not as bad as if it was on Lucian, as if it was on Twisted Fate, as if it was on Kayle. So there's definitely still a chance for Energy Pacemaker to come back in this. It's kind of like if a tanky Eve gets fed. Yeah, she builds, you know, 1 or 2 damage items, but at the end she's just a tank and just an initiate. So Energy Pacemaker, the gold looks grim, but where it is on VG Gaming is pretty much the bright spot for them.
Well, this is a fair point. Well, you've also got TF is 3-0-3 as well. He's been able to pull off a couple of those kills on the nice ganks he's pulled too, so that's still a threat. The bigger issue right now for Energy Pacemaker is who has their kills. 1 on the AD carry, 2 on the support, just because he's been able to like revenge it up at the end of it, but they haven't been able to do anything on this Caston, and this is the strategy. This is how you counter Caston. You just shut him down in lane. He's like Jax. You don't give him kills, he's useless. You don't give him any sort of item advantage, he's useless. He's not even been able to build his Rod of Ages at this point, and it's a 15.5-minute game. They've done a really good job of shutting him down, and whoa, there's a lot of damage being put onto him as well. This is the issue. They prioritize picking him up, but what about shutting him down?
I think you're absolutely right. 300 getting really aggressive, and I think it really speaks to how Kassadin doesn't really fare in the Chinese meta. The roaming support is much stronger. The double jungle is pretty much happening internationally, but I feel like especially those roaming supports, the strong supports. Oh, but the Descendants lands on 300.
No, they're going to catch 300, but he's totally happy with that, and they don't want to lock him up any further. That's the wrong fish on the hook for Domo. He's going to push back on that one. Once again, Kassadin taking enough poke from the cards, he has to back away.
And VG Gaming now going to shove up for the 2nd tier tower. They have great siege potential, those wild cards, pretty much acting like little homie niddly spears. Doing fantastic.
Tiny little ones.
I know, right? Tiny little pickups here. But between Kayle and Lucian, they have great siege potential.
Not to mention they're able to push people off as well with the Twisted Fate wildcards. They're going to find 300 again. Once again, Domo says, no, that's not the one I wanted to hook. They are going to be able to clear the waves, but again, just every single time they push onto this, they're able to put a little more damage out. And Kayn actually doesn't really have a lot of damage output despite looking pretty intimidating. He's got the Trinity Force first, which is not bad if you want to deal mixed damage, but they're really lacking in the AD department right now.
The Chinese build on Corki and the one that's actually becoming more, but a Colin going across trying to really siege
okay, that says we want this tower really fast. Now Zune going to try and pressure this one down. Aimi going to provide a little bit of upfront cover, and now here comes Bobo onto Amazing J, going to force the wild growth out of him almost immediately, and Kayn trying to find just a couple of minions, and he cannot do it without taking massive damage. And here's the dragon.
So, easy free tower, going to transition this into a dragon. Fantastic play from VG Gaming. Again, recognizing that they're not there for the kills. They're not utilizing these cooldowns to get an ace and then look for towers. They say, you know, we can just get the objective for free here. We're going to burn the coaling because we know that this is going to transfer into the tower, transfer into the dragon. So I really like the smart play here, recognizing their strengths and how to utilize them. Going back to the Corki build, because I want to talk about this a little bit. Bork Trinity Corki is very popular, and a lot of people going, why would you ever build Bork on Corki? Obviously, why wouldn't you build BT? He's an 80 caster, he gets more damage from it. It's partly to do with the mixed damage that Corki puts out. Obviously, Bork is going to help emphasize that mixed damage, and it's also about the survivability of Corki, giving him the mobility that he needs. We see a lot of Trinity Force rushes when a map gets so open. It's much more common to see Kog'Maw actually rush a Trinity before he goes for his Bork this time around, because again, these towers are going down so fast, this map is opening up so large, that having that extra mobility on the AD carry is definitely a priority here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I definitely think it helps to get him around a little bit better, and the mixed damage definitely benefits Corki. But I'm just surprised they didn't pick up a bit more of a damaging item first, just because they're so far behind at this point that they need to mix it up a little bit better. At this point, the magic resist is going to be extremely effective for Vici.
You also have to think that because they're getting towers down so early, they're essentially getting kind of this shot straight into the vein of superficial gold as far as the global gold objectives. And Trinity is actually incredibly powerful because of the Sheen early game, and we're still relatively early. It's a bunch of level 9s and 8s running around. You have like what, one level 11 on the side, and that Sheen from that Corki from that Trinity is going to hurt a lot more in this mid game. It's not even mid game. I'm going to call this early game.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say what part of the game it is if you're not used to the Chinese scene, especially because there's a 19-minute Baron dance happening. Vici Gaming just looking for this bait right now. They have Carry once again participating in that 4-1 side split, and well, Energy Pacemaker has to try and contest this one, but they're going in very warily. Board's being cleared out left and right, and they're not quite going to aggro the Baron. Last time it happened, well, Jing took about half his health in a couple of shots, and here is the chase. Twisted Fate going to be destinying in. Well, he's going to back off of that one as they were able to get away, but look how scared they were just to even try and deal with it. Instead, Zune will go to the top lane and just farm up happily.
Just creating pressure on the map. We have 2 points of pressure now with that Destiny not wasted. Granting the Vision is now going to create a point of contention on the map as far as the top lane. We do have now Carry also making the same thing happen in the bot lane. Unfortunately, Amazing J.
He's chasing Amazing J away.
Ooh,
Domo. Oh my goodness, he's going to pull 300 right into that, and there's this big solar flare. Box is going to come in, doesn't even matter. Carry is going to get in, get out, big kills on. Zune's coming in, he's going to pop a gold card. He's going to lock up Caston, but he's on the outside. There's 300 going in, might actually sack for this one. He's going to go down. Zune's going to try to chase on. Turning on to Captain, who is going to go all the way into the Baron pit and has nowhere to go. Down he falls. That is going to be all said and done. A 2-for-1 trade. Nicely done by Vici, but it was a valiant effort on the part of Energy Pacemaker as well. Oh my goodness, Cassidon. He stops his back. Oh no, and he's going to try to sneak it. They still don't know he's here, but if they wander into that one, well, luckily for him, he's going to get away.
Tasty red buff is going to be the distraction here. 2 big things happened in that team fight. A fantastic solar flare from 300. He did eventually go down, but the solar flare initiation from that Leona to flashback over the wall was picture perfect from Vici Gaming. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was the lucky wild card. Zune obviously making the chase onto Elise. If you notice when he threw out his wild card and Elise made the repel captain there for the Baron pit to try to create some distance, the tip of the wild card actually hit the Baron and aggroed out to Elise. We did have Lucian go into the pit and make sure that she went down so she couldn't flash over the wall, but she was dead regardless. Baron was getting his animation up to finish that off, so pretty cheeky move there.
Yeah, it was nicely done, and you know, even if unintentional, it worked out extremely well. Now, Jing trying to chase Carry around the bot side of the map and just has enough to do it. So that is actually the first kill for Cast in this game, as he's finally got himself up to a reasonable amount of items to deal with Kale, and that's actually the first death for Carry this game.
Speaking a little bit about Kale's items, or excuse me, Cassidon's items. So he has the Roa. Again, you have to wait for Roa to really that power spec to come through. He now has a tier. This Cassidon is going to be very weak for a very long time. Both of those items require quite a bit of extensive time to be put into them, at least 10 minutes. And from what we've seen from these 2 games, we're coming up onto the 20-minute mark. There may not be 10 minutes left of this.
Yeah, there's another Baron, and it's actually happening this time. Vici Gaming says, hey guys, it's 22 minutes. We just want to fight. You know what time it is. It's Baron time. Here they go. The teleport in from Carry. Now they're turning around the fight. Gonna focus Jing down, but he's going to whoop out of there one. And Domoho doing a fantastic job of tanking up everything for his team, but he falls way too fast as the rest of Energy Pacemaker hesitant to go in. Big calling comes out. Amazing J taking a lot of damage. Bobo turning on to Jing. Oh my goodness, he's going to fall in the first place, but 300 taking up everything from Kane, and he's going to fall as well. Vici Gaming is actually behind on this one. Energy Pacemaker going to mop up the kill onto Elise. They turn onto the rest of Energy Pacemaker. Only Kane is left alive now as Lulu is sort of on the outside of the fight, and instead of Baron, now they're going to turn for an inhibitor turret.
Worked so well for them, but Zune off on the outside was able to kind of cage a bunch of Energy Pacemaker's members into his team. They are now looking at this inhibitor tower. Those blue cards going to hurt.
Yeah, any kind of card that he's going to pull out at this point. You think he just like sort of sits there in between games and like sharpens them or something?
You know, I wouldn't.
Where do you get a pack of cards like that?
I wouldn't put it past Twisted Fate.
That's pretty terrifying.
He probably won them in a match, in a poker match. I think that would fit with his lore.
That's like it's like Mafia thing. They need a Mafia Twisted Fate skin. That would be awesome.
They need a Casino Twisted Fate skin.
Aha. Isn't like every Twisted Fate casino Twisted Fate?
I would love like a blackjack spin. But right now, Zune, 3-0-5, definitely the backbone for his team. His destinies have been so on point. Not a single one wasted even when he didn't pick up kills. Again, creating that map pressure on the top. I'm really impressed with this Twisted Fate play. Not the Korean... Actually, it is the Korean Ghost Twisted Fate. I didn't even notice he was Reddit Ghost.
Oh yeah, no, he's totally going all for it right now, and this is definitely something that China has been taking a very big incentive on adopting very quickly. I mean, we've seen Twisted Fates picked up in a lot of the scenes, but I think it's more prevalent in regions, especially that are closer. That a lot of these Chinese players do play on the Korean servers. They learn a lot of the strategies a lot quicker than other people do, usually watching through VODs. And they just really adapt a lot quicker. This is another region reason, excuse me, that the Chinese region is very strong. They're able to learn a lot quicker than a lot of people. And well, look, Imi's starting up a dragon on his own, and there's no contest available. The Vision game's been played actually very well by both teams this game, but it's where you put the Vision, and VG is doing it better.
VG, frankly, if I'm going to be honest, doesn't even look like a Chinese team right now. I mean, the rotation focus is, of course, the Chinese, the objective focus is obviously a Chinese thing. Tabe, again, we talked about how Royal Club had that showing at Worlds last time we saw Tabe on the team there, so no surprises there. But their rotations are so clean. The fact that they're utilizing Twisted Fate so well, they had a good Nami from them previously in the set. I feel like they're really looking like, when people tell me LSPL is the one to watch, it has stronger teams, you need to see VG Gaming, they're so good. I feel like this is literally the team that everyone was hyping, and I've just yet to see it. And I'm so happy that it finally came out in the set.
They were slow to draw out this game to begin with. Well, the match anyways, Energy Pacemaker and that really early stopping of them, but they've just completely turned around in every single time. Now this game, probably the most even out of all of them, and it might be the longest lasting at 25 minutes right now, but they're looking for this Baron. They know they can take it because they have waves pushing on the other side. As long as they can bait a good fight out, pick up maybe 2 or 3 and lose maybe 1 or 2, if they can do that, they can keep coming out ahead over and over and over again, just pounding it in. They do have to be careful if they lose one of their more fed members, but it looks like they're going to start up this Baron dance, just waiting in the pit, hanging out, having a little dance party. Well, maybe not, because Captain, he goes a little too far ahead, and they're going to get the repel up. Gold card, not going to be able to land on anything. Now it goes down. He's going to get locked up. Down he goes. That's a free kill over to Imi. Once again, 7-0 Kazakhs this game.
Again, the difference between VG Gaming and other Chinese teams that we've seen is they're not just outright going for the Baron. I feel like even in LPL, even in the highest level, most experienced, this is so much more of SKT1K's style of play. Warding up an area, controlling it down, but the Solar Flare goes down. Does whiff.
Burns, I believe, he didn't burn a flash, actually. No, just barely got him on the outside. Burned, Dome.
He got
Domos,
a whimsy.
Yeah, that's that's something, right? They're still just barely not quite getting what they want, but they are shoving in waves. They're not really giving any breathing room to Energy Pacemaker, and this is where you see the noose very slowly tightening. But you're right, they're not taking the Baron when they could start it.
They're not utilizing the Baron like most Chinese teams who are just reliant on Baron to do anything. They're utilizing it and forcing the other team to fight them. I literally feel like I'm watching the Chinese meta change before my eyes. It's very, very refreshing to see, and this is fantastic. I am starting to believe the LSPL hype.
Yep, and well, the one weakness of this is that they do give up a little bit of map pressure when they spend a lot of time hanging out in the pit. Baron Nashor is a good buddy and all, but you have to be clearing out minion waves as you do it, and they actually had to send Carry down to the bot lane to clear out that pretty big one that was clumping up there. Now, Amazing J, Captain, and Jing are pushing really far forward onto this top side, putting a big amount of minions there, and, well, 300 is chasing down his counterpart in the mid lane, just because he's a support battle. This is the real battle of League of Legends. It's which support reigns supreme. Right now, 300 is definitely making more of a statement on that one.
Definitely coming out very big with this Leona. Has the Crucible, has the Face of the Mountain Sights Tune, and let's not forget the all-important Moby Boots here. Definitely a full item ahead of Domo. Doesn't even have his Talisman available to him yet. And that's actually a big item on such an open map. We keep talking about these towers are down so early now in the current meta of League of Legends. There's a lot of room to run. Stealth is very powerful because there's not a lot of safety there. Talisman is a pretty key item to have, as well as that Frostfang when you are so extended, when you have a team full of mobility. But Energy Pacemaker runs into VG Gaming in that mid lane. Everyone's going to back off, though. I think they saw the kill, like, you know.
They see 300, too, and they're like, no, thank you. We're good. We'll just take this farm. This game has started to stall out just a little bit just because EP is so hesitant to take a fight. They know they can't win one outright, and they know at the very least they're going to give some objective up when they do it. So they're going to be okay with just sitting there. Oop, Carry going to eat some damage from Jing, but they're going to be okay just sitting there and dealing with it. And VG can't spend all its time in the pit because they're just going to get split pushed then.
I think VG Gaming, they recognized the last time that they tried to really go for a siege, Amazing J's wave clear was really proficient. That said, this time around, they do have a couple more key items. That Hurricane, for one, on that Kale here. I expected...
It's pushing down waves fast.
Yeah. Looking for
They'll be able
this,
to siege this up.
inhibitor. They have to be really careful.
Domo. Yeah, he nearly gets a hook on that one. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No,
My bad.
You're totally fine. If Energy Pacemaker dies on their inhibitor or loses enough members, the game will pretty much be over because Carry's Kale with that Hurricane is going to push too fast. So they have to be very careful. The Destiny comes out.
There we go. They're trying to initiate the fight here, but Twisted Fate coming around the other side, and he's not going to be able to land a gold card on anyone just yet. They will be happy to clear the wave, though, and just put a little bit more poke onto their opponents. Jing leading the charge on this one. He wants to find kills. He wants to get up to a ramping level. He does have a bit more damage now that he's completed his now that he's bought his needlessly large rod. Expect him to go up to a death cap for that one, I'd say.
And definitely his Roa should be timing out by now, so bit of a power spike from him there as well. Again, playing this SKT1K style of, it's almost like a Fnatic brush.
If it doesn't work in the pit, hide in the bush. They'll never expect it. And Jing, he's not getting anywhere near that. But, oh, here we go. Fight's going to start. Domo's going to get a flay backwards, but the rest of the team is there. Unfortunately, clumping up for Corki as 300 and I may have to back away around the side. Can't go in that way. They are just getting stalled out when they try to init a fight. And Aimee going to be able to heal up a bit on a couple of minions, but 4-man push squad making a feint of shoving down the mid lane. They need to be able to break into the base somehow, though.
They're being so cautious and careful with this. I actually feel that, I know I praise VG that they could understand their power in the game, but I feel like they could actually just make a dive for this inhibitor in the mid lane right here. Very curious why they're not going to do it. Looks like they're going to send...
Yeah, Zune just got his Zhonya's, so they might like want to wait until they can do something crazy, like send him just completely deep, and then like wait for them to focus him, pop that, and then they can get something off.
Excuse me, sir. Reginald, when he plays Twisted Fate, he just goes into the middle of a team without Zhonya's. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, but you know, this Zune is clearly not Reginald because he's been pulling gold cards.
Ooh, shots fired. Too
Hey,
soon.
you started this. You started this. And I'm a TSM fan. Anyways, they're looking to clear this. They're looking to clear even more wards out. But as many sweepers as VG is actually spending, they're not even finding wards at this point. They're like, wait a minute, they're not even warding Baron.
Well, look at
why
the
didn't we take it
on the map.
Yeah, there's quite a good number of them. And again, VG has been playing the Vision game better and better and better. There are a good number of sweepers on both sides. Only a couple of Oracle's lenses upgraded, though. And, well, Dragon is not one of those places that does have a pink ward on it. 390 going to be able to duo this one up quite nicely. Increase a little bit of gold just into their pockets. There's 14K, 15 now in favor of VG Gaming S, but they need to turn it into something.
Definitely right there. And it looks like Energy Pacemaker might finally get a little impatient here and try to find something. I wanted to talk a little bit as the teams both back up. The pink wards, they're not even defensive pinks. They're hyper-aggressive pinks. This is the confidence of VG Gaming saying, you know what, we're going to place a pink ward in your jungle. And we know that we're still going to be able to defend it. Captain actually does find one in the side there, and I think Cassidy has one in his own jungle. He stopped for a minute. Look at this.
Yep. Ooh, that's dirty gold. Oh, yeah, I need to clear that really quick. So, yeah, nicely done. But they're so confident that they're going to be able to push on this. And actually, they have a small window to start the Baron up. They're going to go for it. Carry is soloing on Jing, but he's going to actually get his ultimate popped out here. Amazing J's in there. Should be able to take him down on the backside of it. They do get it, but this is a sacrifice they're willing to make. Here comes, but at what cost? The Baron is being contested right now. This is going to be a massive fight. Kha'Zix will pick it up. Domo's in there. His box is popped. 300 taking all the damage. He's going to get healed up for just a second, though. They're going to give this one away at the end of it. Let the disengage happen, or maybe not. Captain goes in for a second win and gets melted. Team clearly not synced with that one. Here comes Jing, but they're diving onto him. Lulu's going to pick up a kill onto Zune. They do come out pretty well in that one. A 1-for-3 trade. Give up the Baron, but only 2 members have it now. Bobo and Aimee get out. But, yeah, but at what cost? That is definitely the question for Oscar N.
Carry on that kill, taking up the resources from Energy Pacemaker, and the trust right there in Aimee to get the smite. Elise was also in the pit there, so huge job from him. And yes, the Baron is down on 3 members, but it's up on the most important ones. I think the only target that you could argue to have a more important Baron would be Twisted Fate, but definitely the bonus AD going to go over to that Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix 7-0-4. But
I got this member in this team.
I definitely feel, again, like it's starting to slow down. He did go for a little bit more of a damage build, has the Last Whisper available, has the Brutalizer, but Giant Spelt, Hex Drinker, and Lizard. And for Emmy having the score that he has, again, we're not seeing that huge burst damage. A little bit of miscommunication from VG Gaming. We saw that Emmy was actually on one side of the pit when the other half of VG Gaming was on the other side of the pit. I feel like if they had just fought that, it would have turned out a little bit better. But needless to say, excellent smite. They finally get the Baron.
Yeah, and that's what they've been looking for quite a while, so they'll be happy with it. But on the side of Energy Pacemaker, I think they're going to be happy with it as well. They did manage to pick up, finally, an advantageous fight. The gold lead is about where it was before the Baron happened, so about 15,000. But they got a tower, they got 3 kills for 1. I mean, yes, you gave up Baron to Bobo and to Aimee, but they still took something, and that's going to give them a little bit of confidence. And that can mean a lot more than just, you know, a little bit of gold in your pocket.
With this Baron, they need to look mid at that open inhibitor. Team clearing out the resources of their jungle, going back, making their final buys. We do see that Kha'Zix is going to pick up his Randuin, so definitely a lot tankier this time around. I expect to see them group up mid, obviously utilizing carry right now, again, trying to get as many resources bottom from EP as possible. But this should be the inhibitor here. VG Gaming has to make plays with this Baron. Lucian is incredibly powerful right now. We are technically in the middle of the game. Yeah, about mid-game.
This is late game for this series. I mean, 35 minutes. This is unheard of.
I know these games ending at 20 minutes.
Yeah, no surrenders this time. So Carry is still doing the split push and is drawing Jing on the outside. This is actually really good for Vici because without the cast-in presence, they're so confident to go in on this. Look at how quick they're poking it down. Zune actually going to get locked up by a Death Sentence, but they'll disengage. Nice calling, actually, and they're going to be free to push on this one. Here comes Captain around the side, popping the coin, though. Domo's looking for something. Jing's in the picture as well. Carry now. Oh, my goodness, 300 gets melted down before he can do anything. Can't even land his ult. They're looking for revenge now. Twisted Fate ult going to come in. Destiny's looking to pop the gold card. Oh, my goodness, casted. Zanya Hourglass is out of the gold card stun, and Zune answers back with his own. They're going to be able to take him down. They're going to turn down for this bot side turret. Bobo is almost... Oh my goodness, he goes down at the end of that one too. It's a 2-for-3 trade. They're going to finally get this inhibitor, and this was definitely a win for VG Gaming as they push forward now. They are still shoving on this one, looking to maybe end the game. Yeah, Amazing J's the only one up. They're going to be able to disengage this if they want, but... Oh, there's a pause coming in.
Oh my god, that was
abrupt.
huge. So, Amazing J is up, relatively high health, doesn't have the wild growth available, but has fantastic wave clear on his Lulu right now. This is a full AP Lulu, has his Death Cap, has his Athenes. The only thing that could really stand between him and defeat right now, the game ending, death timers are relatively high because we're decently late into the game, but the blue cards are going to hit so hard. If Amazing J gets an outplay here, he'll save the game for his team, but not looking in his favor. 3-1 right now for Energy Pacemaker, and this is sudden death. If they lose here, they're out.
Yep, no, Amazing J. Oh, they want to jump on him. Aimee's going to get so much damage. Gets the kill ultimate out. Chasing for the fountain. He can't do it. Oh, my goodness. That was fantastic. And Carry even stays alive. This game could end right now. Domo is looking for the finish, but he can't quite get anything. Zune is there. No damage being dealt. They're just ignoring him. They're going for the towers. Now they turn on to Domo. He is going to fall as well. Zune and Aimee are here to finish the Nexus off, and it looks like VG Gaming S is going to go to the next round of the Demacia Cup.
What a finish. That was huge. We talked about how the death timers are so unforgiving that if Energy Pacemaker were to fall in their base, that the towers, the game would be over. You had the Hurricane Kale, you had the blue cards. Fantastic play from VG Gaming. I honestly feel like I'm watching the Chinese meta evolve.
Zune for MVP?
Completely. That Twisted Fate, we haven't seen it to much success in China. I mean, it works more with OG and picks because Koreans are much more about rotations, much more about recognizing, utilizing the Destiny there. Obviously, Twisted Fate's stronger because Teleport is stronger, but it's more about the rotations. Finally seeing a team that was all about the rotations, all about recognizing the objective strength. That was fantastic play from VG Gaming.
And, you know, by the way, they really focused quite a lot on Zune, or Cherish, of course. These last games, they've tried to deal with him as a huge threat. They've been banning out a lot of his favorite champions, and they still are able to put up this kind of fight. It is just insane.
Definitely. But with that, we are going to go in commercial, but don't go anywhere because we do have another best of 3, the sister teams of Energy Pacemaker and VG Gaming.
No. Let's do this.